So imagine raising your own son and 20 years later, you're going to be testifying against him in court in a murder trial. That's right. So I'm going to talk to you about the case of Ksoo. He's basically some rapper from Jacksonville. And obviously, I didn't hear about him until, this particular story. So that's what I kind of want to address here in this video. Because obviously, you look at Ksoo, he looks like another up and coming rapper. But now, he got himself caught up in quite a bit of stuff because apparently now he's accused of two separate murders. That's right. And he's been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. And if you people know, in the state of Florida, if you're charged with first-degree murder and, if the prosecution has solid evidence against you, then most of the time here, you're basically screwed and you're going to be sent to prison for life. Unfortunately, that's just how it is, at least, in the when it comes to murder trials, and then proving that you actually did it, especially in Florida. Like, yeah, because a lot of people don't know this. Florida, it has arguably the highest incarceration rate in the entire United States, because one thing that I know about Florida, California, and Texas is that those 3 states are basically in the top 3 of having the largest incarceration rate. I think Florida is #1, and then Texas is #2, and then California, I think, is #3 on the list. So yeah, with first-degree murder, most likely if you're charged with it and, if prosecutors have a solid case against you, then you're basically screwed. There is really no way to get out of this, but just it's just crazy to me that, a rapper's own father is going to testify against him in court. That's right. Particularly in the case of Ksoo. And the reason why this has really caught my eye is because I don't think I've ever heard a parent, testifying against their own kid in court, and that's why this story seems so big to me right now, because you look at Ksoo here, he's apparently accused of killing a rival gang member or something. I'm not 100% sure, but what I do know is that prosecutors believe he's the one that, ended up killing a rival gang member, and that's why, they have him locked up, and now he's currently in, I think it's called what? He's in Duval County Jail, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I believe that's where Ksoo is at. And now apparently his father has been moved to another jail, and it's just crazy to me that apparently, your own father can testify against you. But listen, man, when it comes to this case here, obviously we have another rapper in Ksoo who, unfortunately, if it's true, if prosecutors do manage to prove that he actually did it, then obviously this is another case of a rapper just making a really bad, choice in life. And you know that you made a really bad choice in life when even your own father is going to testify against you in court. So obviously right now for Ksoo, obviously he's currently being held on a $4 million bond, and apparently, obviously, $4 million bond, the only way how Ksoo can technically get out of jail before the trial starts is if he has, $4 million, or if he can afford his bail, because obviously the reason why bail is so high is mainly because if prosecutors believe he could be a flight risk, then that's why, the judge always sets bail super, super high, where it's practically almost impossible to afford it, especially in cases like this. But, when it comes to Ksoo's father testifying against him, I personally think that prosecutors are really trying to, prove that, what Ksoo is accused of, that he actually did it. And they're going as far as to, even having his own father testify against him, because I think that his own father also got caught up in some stuff as well. And I guess now that his father is going to testify against him, maybe it's part of a plea deal or something that, apparently his father is not going to, get a very lengthy jail term. I'm not sure though, but that's what I imagine is, the main reason why they're even having his own father testify against him. So it seems to me right now that the prosecution is really convinced here that Ksoo, they are convinced that he really did do those murders, and that's why they're having his own father testify against him. That's right. So obviously, when it comes to Ksoo, this case, obviously, it's not looking good for him. Like, we got to be honest here for once. Obviously, Ksoo, I don't think he should, if it's true what he did, then obviously, I mean, like I said before, he made a really bad choice. And that's the thing with a lot of these up-and-coming rappers is, I feel like that a lot of these rappers still make the best life choices, and then they get caught up in legal stuff like this, where, where it usually ends with, where a lot of the time, if they are proven to do a crime, a very serious crime, then they usually get a long time in jail and possibly life in prison, whether it's murder or RICO charges and all that stuff. But yeah, Ksoo's own father testifying against him is pretty big news to me. So yeah, let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section below. And it seems to me that the prosecution really must have some sort of solid evidence against the Ksoo in where they're actually making his own father testify against him. You know, it just seems to me that they really want to basically put him in jail for life for what he's accused of doing, and they're going as far as having his own dad testify against him. So that is just absolutely crazy to hear.